Welcome to the video on adding mixed numbers with regrouping. So adding anything with regrouping, what that means is, say we've got 17 plus 15. Now when we add 5 plus 7, we end up with 12. So we move this 1 above the other one, and then we say 1 plus 1 plus 1, and we get 3. So we had to regroup. We had to carry our 1 in order to solve this problem. Same type of idea with adding mixed numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at these fractions that we have here. So we have 2/3 plus 1/2. Now our first step in this problem is to go ahead and to get common denominators. So again, if the t-chart works for you, let's go ahead and start with the t-chart. We end up with 3, 6, 9, 12. And then we can do our 2's, 2, 4, 6. And I'm going to stop there because I've got our common denominator of 3. So I have to multiply by 1, 2. So this first one I'm going to do times 2. Okay? And then 2, I multiply by 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to multiply the second one times 3. So I have 4, 6, and 3, 6. All right? Now, when I'm adding and subtracting fractions, I like the vertical method because when we have to regroup, that allows us to carry a 1 if we need to. All right, so here we're going to do just like we did before. We're going to add our numerators, so 4 plus 3 is 7, and we're going to keep our denominator. Now, in this case, we have an improper fraction, so we need to go ahead and simplify that. And again, if you have forgotten how to simplify, the numerator goes on the inside, denominator on the outside, 6 goes into 7, 1 times 6 is 6. I subtract and get a 1, okay? So my whole number is up on top, so we have 1 and 1/6. So this answer is 1 and 1/6. All right? If you need to, go ahead and pause the video here. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. So again, I'm going to start with my t-chart. Okay, and we have 4, 8, 12, 16, and then 3, 6, 9. All right, so I've got my common denominator, which is 12. All right, so what did we multiply 4 by? Well, 1, 2, 3. We multiplied by 3, so times 3. And I ended up with 9/12. Okay? And then what did I multiply 3 by? 1, 2, 3, 4. I multiplied by 4. So it is 8/12. Now 9 plus 8 is 17. And then the denominator stays the same. But again, I can't leave it in this form. I have to simplify it. So 12 goes into 17 one time. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract, I get 5. All right, so my answer is 1 and 5/12. Okay? Again, if you need to, go ahead and pause the video here. All right, now let's look at the next one. I have 5 and 3. So we need to find our common denominator. I have 5, 10, 15, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay? So now what I need to do is figure out what my common denominator is, and it's 15. And then I have to ask myself, what do I multiply 5 by to get to 15? Well, I multiplied this one by 3, and I multiplied this one by 5. Okay? So 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. And 3 times 5 is 15. And then I have 10 plus 12, that's 22. And my denominator stays the same. My denominator is 15. And then, again, I need to simplify this. 15 goes into 22 one time. 22 minus 15 is 7, so my answer is 1 and 7/15. okay? Right? If you need to, again, go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's look at this next one. Now we're going to start adding the mixed numbers with the regrouping. So the first thing I need to do is find my common denominator. Okay, and I found it. It's 18. Okay, so what do I have to multiply 9 by to get to 18? Well, I'm going to multiply by 2. So it's 2 and 4 18ths. Okay, what am I going to multiply the next one by? I'm going to multiply by 3 to get to 18. So it's 3 and 15 18ths. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to add our whole numbers. So 2 plus 3 is 5. I'm going to add my numerators. So 15 plus 4 is 19, and my denominator stays the same. Now here's where our regrouping comes into play. So we're going to look just at this part. Okay, we're just going to look at the 19 over 18. And we have to simplify that to be an improper fraction. And we can divide it out if you need to. Okay, so it's 1 and 1/18. So this part right here equals 1 and 1/18. But we still have this 5 over here, so we have to put the 5 and the 1 together. So our overall answer is 6 and 1/18. All right, an alternative to that method is you can cross out the 5 and make it a 6, and you can take 18 away from the numerator because that's your whole, and make it a 1. Okay? Now, if that confused you, don't worry about it. You can follow the other steps that I gave you. So it's 5 and 19 18ths. That was the answer that was there. Okay? If you need to, go ahead and pause the video here. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. Again, we're going to start with our T-chart. Okay, and we're going to find the multiples of 5. And then we're going to find the multiples of 4. And then we're going to circle our least common multiple, or our least common denominator. And now we're going to say, okay, well, what did we multiply 5 by? We multiplied it by 4. And we got 1 and 16 over 20. And then we're going to look at the next one. What did I multiply my 4 by? Well, I multiplied it by 5. So I got 2 and 5 20ths. And now I can add. 1 plus 2 is 3. 16 plus 5 is 21. And then our denominator stays the same. So again, we have an improper fraction right here. So we need to figure out what is 21 over 20. So I can divide it out. 20 goes into 21 one time. 1 times 20 is 20. I subtract and I'm left with 1. So my answer is 1 and 1/20. But we need to put the 1 and 3 together. So my overall answer is 4 and 1/20. Okay? We can't just get rid of that 3. All right, let's go ahead and do another one here. All right, so I'm going to make my T-chart. I have a 5 and a 2. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay? And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So my least common multiple is 10, or least common denominator. I would multiply this first fraction times 2 to get to my denominator of 10. I'm going to multiply the second fraction times 5 to get to my denominator of 10. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add it together. 3, 11 tenths. All right, Now I'm going to, now I do have the improper fraction, so I do need to go ahead and go over here. And I'm going to say 10 goes into 11 one time. 1 times 10 is 10. Subtract 1. So this part right here, the improper part, equals 1 and 1/10. And then I need to put the 3 and the 1 together. So I end up with 4 and 1/10. Okay? All right, that's it. That's all I have for you for adding mixed numbers with regrouping. If you do have any questions, please jot those questions down at the end of your notes so we can talk about those in class tomorrow. If you need extra practice, please go ahead and go on to iExcel and practice there. Thank you.